says we're live. Okay.
All right.
So yeah, you see the see that should be. Oh, all right. So the chat once chat comes up, that should pop up somewhere here, and I can type it in. Okay, and that's the number of people. Okay.
All right. Well, we are live. We are having so many difficulties with this, so we apologize. We're running a little late, and we had to do this on a different stream here.
Yeah, we couldn't get. So I know some of you guys are gonna end up finding this out after because you're probably waiting on the original scheduled video. We for some reason we cannot get that scheduled one to work on the computer, so I had to do another one on the phone. So you're on the phone right now, and that scheduled live stream does not show up on the phone. So we're doing this one.
Yeah, I think the computer doesn't like his goofy thumbnail or something like that. He didn't have enough proper seriousness, so I think it blocked us out. But yeah, I don't know what it is. Yeah, so anyway, we wanted to make sure we've been promising this video.
Yeah, it'll be out, obviously.
It is Labor Day, and we have our drawing that we're going to take care of at the end of this, and
there we go.
You got it?
I got a notification that y'all were going live, so hopefully. Yeah, that's what I told them is, hey, whenever they go live, because I've been through this on the receiving end, they'll get a notification, hey, Strategic Prepper just went live.
Right.
So, yeah, so hopefully.
Yeah, so we'll do that drawing for, in fact, you know what? This is that get home bag, right? The get home bag. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. You guys remember the video? What was the video? Building your first get home bag.
Yeah, something like that. I don't even remember.
Sleeping bag. And you could show them.
Later?
Later. You got to wait for that.
Later.
So it's really kind of nice. The knife that old Junior here got customized for us. But yeah, so we want to talk about a couple other things first, and want to thank all you guys that are with the live stream and those that are going to join us later. And we just recently hit 1,000 subs.
Yeah, that's pretty exciting.
Yes.
Yep. And that's I think we did our first milestone at 100.
But it got hit 200 from the time we planned 100 to it went to 200 real fast.
And that wasn't that long ago. That was
no, it wasn't.
Months ago, right?
Now we're at like 1,300.
Yeah, it's been going pretty quickly. So yeah, we wanted to do a live stream at least for that, to celebrate that. I'll talk about kind of where we're what we're doing.
Yeah. So when we started this journey, as far as the YouTube and sharing our prepping, we've been prepping since seriously since 2008. I mean, it's kind of always how we lived and it's how you were raised, and, you know. But as far as serious, let's get this done. And by the way, you guys like my different hat? Yeah, we were outside. It's not my normal hat.
Oh yeah. I'm thinking, cause I know when you wear that hat, so I'm thinking that's the hat you normally wear when we're doing this. But yeah.
No, we're out there. We're out there cutting wood and all that. So, but anyway, we talk about prepping and you know, being self-reliant and all that. And part of that for us means getting out of the suburbs and all that. Yeah. So you guys have been watching our videos, and for me, I'm on 5.5 acres, and we were out there cutting firewood earlier today. So we look a little, you know, rough, and I got keeping the sun off me and all that. But yeah, it's been a challenge. You have probably heard me talk about on another video. Oh, actually, that's coming up Thursday. I won't give away too much, but I've got I talk a little bit about on Thursday. I got robbed. Can you believe it? I had the contractor in here run the electrical wire, bought a pole, all this other stuff. Somebody came in here, stole the wires. And this coming Thursday, I talk a little bit more about it and what I'm doing about it.
I don't think that wire lasted 24 hours.
No,
he texted us, and I started laughing. He's like, "It's not funny." I was like, "I guess it's not funny, but you know, a day later, someone stole the wire for the copper." Like, oh, jeez.
Yeah, power company shows up the next morning. We can't connect you. You have no wire here. What? It's just there. I just got pictures.
It was just there. I just checked it.
I hate thieves. And then I did the video. Was that last week? Chainsaws hate me.
Oh, that's pretty funny too.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, yeah, there's a whole story. Chainsaws just are not cooperating. So I got a whole video on that. I think that was last week. And we get out there today, and guess what?
Chainsaws, yeah.
Chainsaw, it's a brand new Husqvarna. It's already working, and but we gotta work it. We talk nice to it, and give it a little kiss, and yeah, that started it right up. And yeah, so we've got quite a bit cleared.
Just got internet, right?
Just got internet, and but it doesn't get us connected, obviously through the computer, so we're working off the phone.
Yeah.
So yeah, we are officially done with phase one. We've got the gate. I talk about the gate. Gate is up, and yeah, so we're doing pretty good. We got a good amount of land cleared, enough where I can do some gardening, quite a bit of gardening come springtime. Get some trees planted. And so where are you at?
Oh, let's see. So right, we sold our house in the suburbs a few months ago, a couple months ago, something like that, in July or something like that. So we moved into an apartment temporarily. At that point we didn't have anything that was, that we made an offer on. But so our agent showed us this property. Actually, it was being sold by another agent he works with, and so it hadn't hit the market. He was going to put it on, and he said, "Hey, I got some people that want to see it." So yeah, it's a house and a shop on 7.3 acres. So there's power running to the shop. Most of it is wooded, so there's some clearing. So I can start planting some stuff, but I'm going to have to clear some more to plant. But we ran into kind of a snag with the inspection. So we did the home inspection, and there was a lot of your normal problems that you expect. But the one that gave me some pause or heartburn a little bit was water damage underneath one of the bathrooms. So you can see from the picture, the floor joist, subfloor, definitely had some water damage. So the question was obviously how much. So it took a bit. I got COVID like a couple weeks ago, and then the family got COVID, the seller, so the contractor couldn't come. So anyway, we finally got the contractor like last week. And we were slated to close at close to the end of the month, so we're getting kind of close. Long story short, they're not too worried about the damage. The prices I got and everything seems pretty reasonable, so we're gonna go ahead and move forward. So we closed towards the end of the month. I'm probably gonna stay in the apartment, or at least I'm gonna keep the apartment till the end of October is what I'm thinking. So that'll give me 6 weeks, 8 weeks, something close to that, something like that. Time to just slowly move stuff over. Obviously everybody hates moving, except although I did have one of the guys that helped me move. He was like, yeah, I'm one of those weird guys. I like helping people move. So anyway, unless you're him,
That's because it's not his stuff.
I guess. Yeah. But yeah, I'm trying to minimize that on that moving day of getting everything out. So if I can get everything except the big furniture out, that's the goal. Then also it leaves us some time to get repairs done and whatever. So yeah, early October, I'll definitely get the internet set up. We'll start to have everything set up, but by November, the plan is currently, unless the apartment, there's some things I got to work out in the contract, I already know. So unless they tell me I have to stay a couple more weeks or whatever, I'll probably be out anyway. So the plan anyway, November is for me to be living on that property full time. And so this has kind of caused some issues. So right now, for example, I don't have internet at the apartment. So it's $100 a month. And with my phone carrier, I get free hotspot Wi-Fi because they happen to have it there. But my computer won't link up to it. And so obviously I need my computer to do a lot of the the uploading files for the channel. And so this
is one of the reasons we're struggling.
Yeah, we're both we've been in between spots, and I'll be in between spots until November. And the reason is, you guys are wondering, well, why didn't you pay for internet? Reason being, so we talk about these different priorities and concentric circles, and everything's a balance, right? So I'm not devoting 100% of my resources really into any one thing, except right now the house is taken up, obviously. That's a huge part. But we're trying to knock out debt, right? So remember, if you guys remember from our earlier video, we talked about upcoming threats and whatnot, and the big one being economic instability.
Right.
And so the big strategy with that is to get out of debt. So I used part of the money from the sale of the house to pay off most of my debt. I still got the vehicle payment for my 4Runner. So we start looking at the budget and everything we can throw at that to get it paid off quickly. So, from that standpoint, $100 a month, especially when I already have some kind of internet, I was like, Psh, listen,
So when did we do that video? April, maybe?
I don't know. If some of you guys know, comment below. I want to start seeing comments scroll up on my feed.
Yeah,
that sounds about right. It should just come up boop, right here, and it'll just float
How
up.
can you read that?
Oh, I can read it.
I can't read.
But
Okay.
anyway, that's why I'm not paying for internet right now, because I have kind of internet, and it's $100, and
But just a thought on that. We talked about the upcoming economic instability. Just 2 days, or I guess it's Friday, Friday or Thursday. Jobs numbers came out.
oh
and,
yeah,
and
yeah,
they were
yeah.
expecting like 750,000, and it came back
Like 500,000 short, right?
500,000 short.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a huge miss. That means these experts are expecting one thing, and the reality, they keep, I don't know, overselling the economy, and the reality keeps coming up short.
Yeah,
coming
I mean,
up short.
It's
And that should be concerning to those of us who are readiness minded, that whatever these people in the government are telling us, what they're telling themselves, that's really the thing. What they're telling themselves,
I
they're
don't
missing
know.
the mark, and they're missing it not by a little bit.
And I
And
don't.
that's why it's important to get out of debt and do
Yeah.
as much as you can.
And I don't even know about telling themselves. I think it's just what they're telling us. I think for the most part, they're actually pretty smart people. I think they understand what. I think there's a lot of people, like with the jobs numbers,
If
or
they're so
inflation
smart, if
and
they're so
whatnot.
smart, then why'd they create the problems in the first place?
Well, you remember, for them, it's not the problems are all on purpose. It's like with
Yeah,
the
I
withdrawal
know,
from
yeah.
Afghanistan. That
Yeah.
wasn't incompetence. They did that on purpose. That's a whole nother discussion. But yeah, I think a lot of that stuff they know what they're doing. Like the inflation and all, like, yeah. And so that's the other thing too. Inflation is not talked about, at least from what I've seen in the news recently. Other news cycles have come through, but inflation's not going anywhere. It's still pretty bad, And so yeah, that was a big thing that drove us to sell the house. We knew we were going to do it in a couple years anyway. The market was hot. So another thing too that drove a decision making. We made enough money from the sale of the house to pay off all the debt completely, right? And then so initially I was like, okay, let me do that, and then I'll save up for a down payment for a house. And I'll be in an apartment for like a year. And so remember we talked about the government missing the mark and all that, right? Well, right now interest rates are at an all-time low. When I did the math, and every percent, it's like $100,000 over the course of the loan. And so that's why I decided, hey, you know what? I know if I get a loan now, if I find a house now, I can get a really low interest rate. The Fed says they're not going to raise rates, but I mean, I don't trust them. So, yeah, 2 or 3% would have a huge impact on my mortgage. So that's why I didn't go all in on the debt. I went mostly in, but saved enough to get the property. And then same thing with the properties in the food production. We've seen, because we've been growing food on a smaller scale, and it takes time to get that going properly. And so I went through 2 growing seasons at the other house, and shoot, now if everything goes well and we close, I can start growing and putting stuff in this year instead of waiting a year.
Yeah, we'll have to clear a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're actually got some comments up here.
Congratulations on the homestead purchase. You can do a lot. Yeah, 7.3 is it's pretty good. A lot of it's wooded.
5.56 for me. That's a really special number.
And I'm running on a well. You're running off initially city, but you also have water.
I showed you today.
Yeah, you got the water source in the back. And
2.
so, shoot, we were talking.
I got the stream, and I got the well.
And we were talking about that today too. It's like one of my plans is to put gutters on the house and build a rainwater catchment system. I don't know how much I want. I'm thinking maybe 1,000 gallon, 2 500-gallon tanks, but obviously we'll make videos when we do that. But yeah, I know we were talking about just different ways to channel the water and do this and that, and so it's exciting. We're actually able to build a homestead. I've been watching.
Yeah, we're gonna make videos on all of this. I've got 3 sheds coming, and for storage, and we'll collect rainwater off of that.
Mm-hmm.
I've got that dry pond. Used to be a pond.
Yeah.
That we may try to revitalize that.
Yep.
And yeah, a lot of things going on, a lot of possibilities. There's so much work to do. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I started looking at I started just watching stuff and reading stuff about building homesteads and just whether it's, hey, do we want to get a mini Jersey cow down the road? Okay, what's that take and what's this take and chickens and yeah, my life is about to be consumed a lot more with the land. That'll be, oh yeah, that's just gonna be the lifestyle.
Yeah. Well, right now I'm doing this full time.
Yeah.
A little bit of consulting on the side, but I'm doing it full time. And oh my gosh, it's whether I'm cutting wood or fixing fences or this morning I got up early and worked a little bit on the septic line, and it's just there's so much to do. And you see most out there, most is still undeveloped.
It's all
one
wooded.
section
Yeah,
that's cut
so
and bulldozed. And,
I tell you what though, I was watching video. Some guy said, what do you say? People overestimate what they can do in a week or a month, and they underestimate what they can do in a year. And basically, it was a video of like the last of like 2 or 3 years. It was a 5-acre property. What this couple was able to do. They're able to do a lot. So I'm thinking in a couple of years,
I'm planning on doing a lot.
it'll be completely different, which is exciting.
But it's September, October, and you guys know what that means. Time to plant
Oh yeah.
the trees.
Yep.
I've got 3 Fuji apple trees that my dog processed for me. You guys heard me talk about that before. Worked out really quite well because apple trees are not cheap, especially Fuji apples. And yeah, so I fed the dog the apple cores, and out came growing seedlings sometime later. So I put them in flower pots, and now I've got some small trees growing that are going to be Fuji apple trees. So I'm going to plant those. Didn't cost me a thing. And yeah, we're going to get some fruit trees growing.
Yeah.
And
That'll be one of the first things I do too. Is I got to figure out how many I want, but it'll be immediate. Boom, plant the whole row.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm going to get some going. I obviously not going to plant all that I want because I have so much more to clear.
Yeah.
But I got to get some going, get some berry bushes going.
I don't know. I'm thinking like, I don't know, right? 10? I don't know.
Eventually,
That's-
probably more.
yeah,
Oh, guess what else I learned? The old man here. I know about poison ivy, but I don't know if y'all can see. Can you see? I don't know if you can
Yeah,
see.
you have to get like really close, so you can kind of see it.
I can
depending
see.
on what-
Yeah, there's some there. I learned what poison oak is. Oh my gosh, it's killing me. I did not know what this stuff was. All these vines, and I'm pulling these vines out, and it's all in the fence, and I'm trying to clear up the fence. And let's just say I'm now very well educated in poison oak. So, hey, life's a lesson, right? Well, I'm learning the lessons. So,
Oh,
yeah.
talking about learning, so we're doing other things too, right? So you want to tell them about that class you took up in Nashville?
Oh, yes. I'm having a brain freeze. Refuge
Medical.
Refuge Medical. It's a so I went up to Nashville and took a first responder type. It's called Stop the Bleed. It's I guess it's a DoD developed.
It's based off of the
yeah.
combat lifesaver. Yeah.
Right, and 4 hours. How to use tourniquets. How to stop the bleeding. Packing wounds. Oh my gosh, this was excellent. Who put it on?
I don't bear.
Bear Independent.
It's, yeah, his company.
Right, his company. These guys did a phenomenal job. Oh my gosh! I mean, I've taught first aid and I've responded out to people, real injuries, real serious injuries. This was a phenomenal training. Stop the Bleed by Rescue Training.
Refuge Medical.
Refuge Medical.
Well, and so the big thing too, I liked.
We actually, this is cool. We actually used tourniquets on ourselves, and even better than that, on our partners.
Yeah. And they hurt.
They hurt.
People don't realize they
my
hurt.
Gosh.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! But I did not whine. I did not complain because I heard Bear comment about people whining and complaining.
That's hilarious.
And no, I'm not going to complain.
Well, the one thing I like too is they got the 1 day.
This is only 4 hours.
Yeah, they got the 4 hours. But then they have like the level 3. I can't remember if that's a full day or 2 days, but Anyway, they have a second level to where now it's more role playing, and you have, hey, it is an active shooter, and there's role players, and a lot of dynamic, which is good because a lot of a lot of training companies, maybe not a lot. I've seen some of them where they don't go that step, and that's like the next step, which is always good. You know, I want to do that.
So the thing is with these guys, you're not just sitting in a classroom taking information. You're actually learning because you're doing. And one of the reasons that I wanted to share this with you, and I'm glad you reminded me, is because you hear us say on Strategic Prepper that what we're trying to do as preppers is build capabilities.
Mm-hmm.
So many people focus on the gear, which we're giving away gear today, right?
I like gear.
Okay, I like gear. Gear is good, but gear is not going to save us by itself. So capabilities, and does anyone remember the 3 legs of capabilities? I gave you one. It's gear. Let's see if anyone types in what the other 2 legs are. You get a brownie point if you get it right. In fact, the first one, I'll tell you what. Here we go. Let's see if anyone's time. So you read.
Skill, water.
So you've got
Noel says skill. Sandra says water.
We have you keep on an eye on the notes. All right. We have some new patches. What do they call them? Morale patches.
Yeah.
I was hoping they'd be here for this video. They're not. They will come this week, and our very first ones. So whoever gets the other 2 legs first, I'm gonna give you one of each for free. Okay. There's 3, and the first leg.
Knowledge. Someone said. So you got skill, water, and knowledge.
Okay. Hold on. You got Deborah, and you got Noel. So you know what? Between the 2 of you, get.
There we go. I just changed the setting.
Deborah, I've got Noel's contact info. Deborah, send us on our webpage your email address. You guys both are going to get free morale patches because you're right. Skills, knowledge, and gear. And together, those build our capabilities.
Yeah.
And what we want to do is build capabilities. Sometimes it's gear heavy. You know, I mean,
some things you need equipment.
You got to have equipment.
Some things are, sometimes you do. Sometimes you just can't replace it.
And sometimes, like if somebody's bleeding and I have a tourniquet and I don't have a clue how to use it, the gear doesn't do me any good.
Yeah.
But when I was in the Marine Corps, they taught us how to do tourniquets. Not like these guys at the class. These guys were A1, the best. But they did teach us. They taught us how to use our belt.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because you don't always have a tourniquet. So if I had the knowledge, but I don't have a tourniquet, I still could do something. So knowledge and skills are important, and that's why I went to the class, because it was an opportunity to build knowledge, build skills, not just tourniquets, but packing wounds. Oh my gosh, that's kind of gory. They teach you how to properly
do that properly.
How to properly pack the wounds.
In fact, we did a training when I did with those other guys I trained with. Sometimes took a pork shoulder, started packing the wound.
Yeah, well, this was kind of similar.
Yeah. Well, I've seen those gelatin blocks. If you got a weak
stomach, they do let you know when it's time to turn away, okay, and not watch. So it's kind of a.
But yeah, the skills.
Skills are so important.
It's in for I think a large percentage of people, at least people I've come across, that's usually where people are lacking, right? And because skills, they take a lot of resources to acquire. They take resources to. What are you looking for?
I'm looking for a pen.
Okay, they take take resources to maintain, and as far as like cool points, they don't have as many cool points. I'm sorry, let me explain. Right, so if I buy a new gun, if I buy medical gear, I buy trauma kits, I buy a bunch of water, whatever, I hand over the money. Let's say I buy a trauma kit, and I spend $150 on a trauma kit. Okay. All right, $150. I got the trauma kit. It looks really cool. If you want to take a class so you can get proficient, it's going to cost a lot more than $150, right? So let's say $300 to $500 would not be unusual. It takes you half a day, a full day, whatever. Okay. Generally in a weekend, right? So you lose part of your weekend, and then you come back from that, and you got nothing physical to show off to your buddies. Okay. And let's be honest, for a lot of people, that's a big thing. So it's easy for people to forget that, right? If I'm going to spend $500, I could buy this. But Yeah, it's like a three-legged stool, right? You take out one of the legs, it still falls over.
Right.
You have to have the skill. It takes considerable resources to do. Then you got to practice, right? So I have a tourniquet. It is a training. I use that specifically for training. So I don't use any of my actual kit tourniquets. I have a right, but yeah, I'll use that every once in a while myself. My wife will practice sometimes. You got to do that, right? Whether it's shooting, growing food, right? Growing food is another thing too. You're just gonna buy a seed packet. You're not gonna be successful. It's that sweat equity. Um, yeah. Anyway,
life is
you
not
got to
so
do it.
life is not so easy.
Yeah, you got to go do the
Yeah.
things.
Especially for this modern society, modern people. We've kind of lost touch with the basics of living, and that's part of what this is about. Self-reliant is so that we can continue to thrive when we can't go to the supermarket. Piggly Wiggly, which is I love the name, but
I didn't know Piggly Wiggly, if I remember correctly, was the first. That was the first supermarket in the nation. He was the one that created that concept.
I had heard that too.
Yeah, so which is kind of cool because they're still around. They're still a decent sized brand,
Yeah.
But yeah. Now sometimes it is fun. Which so yesterday I took my 4Runner with the local off roading group to an off road park, and so I do that obviously because it's fun. That's right, obviously, but also skill building, right? So I got a couple videos I filmed on the way driving there about how to select a bug out vehicle and what that even means, and it's not as scary or as aggressive as you might see. So it doesn't necessarily mean you got to get a jacked up 4-wheel drive. And then if you are going to go the off-road route, how do you go about modifying the vehicle? Because just like everything else we talk about, there's a smart way to do it, and a lot of people don't.
And you have already filmed this.
Yeah, I've already filmed it.
Right, and so we'll get this edited out in a few weeks.
But yeah, no, that was cool. And so I do that for a couple of reasons. Well, obviously it's fun, but also the skill building, right? There's a technique, and you have to learn how to operate the vehicle, and you learn the vehicle system. So I learned what's the limitations of the vehicle, what's my limitations, how do I select my line as far as how to go over obstacles without destroying the vehicle. And so that could translate, let's say hurricane, storms, power outage, or whatever, whether the road is blocked and I've got to get off the road, or I'm trying to leave an area, whatever, traffic jam on the highway, and maybe as long as I can get through the grass median on the other side, I'm home free, or I jump a curb and we've all seen people try to drive through that medium and get stuck.
I have. And
so some of that is vehicle equipment. Maybe their vehicles weren't equipped. Some of that's skill. Some of that's poor judgment. But anyway, without taking too much time, that's one of those times where I get to build the skill, put in the sweat equity, and it's a blast the whole time I'm doing it. So
it's a combination: getting the gear, getting the skills, getting the knowledge, right? And
building relationships with people. So that's the other thing too. Part prepping is but yeah.
Yeah, so we do have a couple of videos to almost kind of segue on that. This week we talk about gear.
I can't
security.
Oh yeah, I can't
security
remember
related.
What videos coming up next.
But next week, it's really all about knowledge, and we've had some comments here and Facebook, basically talking about the shelf life.
I'm just double checking.
Okay.
Comments.
The shelf life for food, the use by dates for canned food, packaged foods, and we've done our research, and we're going to have some real good discussion as that canned food, that packaged spaghetti, packaged lasagna that's sitting on your shelf. How long is it really good for past those due dates? Thursday next week. Our video will post on that, and it's going to be pretty helpful. I think we're going to have a pretty good discussion on that, and very informative. So that'll really help on that knowledge leg.
Yeah. And talking about knowledge, so Sandra says, so my sutures are useful. Sutures. Yeah, assuming you know how to apply them and all that kind of stuff, and how to do them. Yeah, I mean, there's a couple of different ways to close up wounds, and whether you use steri strips or super glue, or I've heard of people talking about not closing it up and just letting it heal from the inside out. Basically, you end up with a giant scar, but it reduces the risk of infection. I don't know enough about that to make a comment. I've just heard about that. I don't know enough. But one of those things that's on the list I got to research.
I'd say what? I'd rather have the skill than not have the skill.
Oh yeah, that's one of those things. If you don't know how to do sutures, and you need them. That's pretty scary. So
I stitched a goat back
oh,
together
nice.
who went
On have triplets.
Nice,
Obviously, Sandra
great
knows how to
job.
do it.
Yes, maybe you
And-
can come and show us on Gil
I was
here.
gonna say, well, I'm say that's a skill that I don't have, right? So that's
Right.
on my list. I got a list of things I want to. I don't know how to do sutures, right? So one thing I've been investigating is the next level emergency certification. So you got like CPR and first responder and all that, but below like an EMT paramedic, I think I think they call it EMR.
Emergency medical responder.
Yeah, so you don't learn the EKG stuff and all the,
So
which is good because I don't need to learn how to read an
yeah,
EKG.
40-hour initial training.
Yeah,
At my last
and that's
workplace,
what I want.
that's what we trained our
That's what I
work
want.
medical people
That's
was
what I'm
at
trying
the,
to get. My plant, so little aside, my plant manager wants to have medical responder teams. Right now, we got people that are trained in CPR, first aid, and trauma. He wants to have a team together, and so I'm going to try to segue that. And, hey, let's get EMR trained. And of course, who's going to be the first one?
well, you have to.
I'm leading the team. I've got exactly. Just life lessons, but also need to remember what our grandparents knew. Yeah, and you know, Sandra, was it Sandra?
Sandra.
Yeah, Sandra. So, you know, it's interesting. So we talked about this briefly in our morality video, and you know, I came across a comment a while ago of an older person who said that if things went sideways, that they would basically just let themselves die because they're useless. And watch the video because that'd be another 30-minute conversation. But yeah, one thing that the older people have is a lot of that wisdom experience, and yes, so you get like grandparents now that have done a lot, and that stuff is extremely valuable. And so yeah, you do need to go out and try to get that, soak that up while you can.
And we talk about this on one or two of the videos. Is that knowledge is not that far removed.
It's not.
I mean,
Yeah.
I remember when I was a kid, we had a garden. The neighbor had a garden. And I remember the new neighbor moved in, and we got all those little rugrats out there, and we got voluntold to go pick rocks, and then so a neighbor could have a garden. We're picking all these rocks for his ground so he could have a garden because people had gardens.
And shoot, my maintenance manager, he remembers. He grew up in the country, and he a lot of the old timey skills, I guess you could call it. His mother and grandmother did. You know, he remembers
our
it.
gardens were the best. Do you guys know? Does anyone know why our gardens were the best? We had rabbits.
Oh, best meaning like they produced. Yeah.
They produced. We had rabbits.
I'm just
Okay.
Yeah, in case I miss them.
Yeah, and,
Well, we
and
had to-
having proper fertilizer. And-
Remember Art?
So a little bit on the
Remember
knowledge.
Art from work?
Yes.
He was like what, 94. He was born in the 30s.
Yes.
So there's people around that
And he's still living.
he was still cognitively fully there, working a full-time job. 94, and this was what, back in like 2017. He was 94. This guy had, yes, you talk about knowledge. That knowledge is still there, and it's not going to be there forever. You know.
Right.
But yeah.
Well, but people like us are going to reclaim it.
Oh, for sure, and that's one of the silver linings of everything that's been happening recently is the whole preparedness movement has gained steam.
Right.
It's a lot more mainstream than, and some of you guys remember, right, 15, 20 years ago was not mainstream versus now it's very popular. Yeah.
So let's get onto the drawing.
Okay.
So I do want to review what we are drawing for. So we did that video. We actually did a couple in a row. We did one talking about lists, right? FEMA's list.
Yep.
And
Wait, we did the FEMA list after, didn't we?
it's, but they were like together. There's
Oh,
like
yeah,
three of them
yeah,
together,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
So we took a look at FEMA and Red Cross list and compared them to our own hurricane list. We also did a bug out bag video way back.
Oh, it was like a second video or something. Third video, yeah.
Something like that. So we compared those lists, and they're actually really good starter lists. We also did a video just critiquing someone else's idea of what new preppers should have, right?
Yeah.
And hopefully constructively. And then what we did was we had a video where we went into Walmart and we built a bug out kit, or a get home kit with all the supplies. And not going to open it up. You can watch the video, but it is full of gear and not overly expensive, especially compared to this one guy we were comparing to. his idea, which would have left a person very unprepared, still, but they would have paid $1,500 bucks.
Yeah.
Ours cost like 200, 250, something like that. So
Yeah.
we got that backpack. Since you also have to sleep in an emergency, we have the sleeping bag, and I am going to try to hold off mailing this. I will send this out to whoever's name we draw before the week is out, but I'm hoping I can get those morale patches in this week, and we'll include those in here. But we did promise you a special knife based on, if you guys watched our knife video.
Yep.
You had recommended and discussed a good beginner's knife.
So yeah, and if you remember, right before I show it, if you guys remember the knife, this is the knife I recommend. Really, everyone should have a few of these, at least one. Okay. But, well, I guess if I said that, I have to give him some time. Oh well, I'm not giving any time. So, you guys remember I had showed you guys the Mora knife. I like the companion. It's got a rubberized grip, but remember the Mora line, a lot of them are extremely affordable and they're really good knives. They're lightweight, they are tough. I'll read that comment right after we finish this. So yeah, they're lightweight, they're very tough. Like I said, I haven't heard of people breaking them unless you just snap the steel in half, which you could do with any knife. So, and this is not the normal version. All right, so I have the normal version, which is, this version is actually also pretty light, but the normal version is even more lightweight. So this is the heavy duty version, which means the steel's a little bit thicker. So I figured, hey, if we're gonna be building the kit, let's put in the heavier duty version, right? Because this is gonna be your general duty knife, right? So if you're batoning through wood or whatever, you got to make sure that's not going to break. So, where's my camera? Anyway, it's a little thicker than the original version. All right, so it's a stainless steel blade. So I wanted to do that just because I figured it's easier. It's what I put in my bag, the stainless steel. I can put it in there and not worry about rust, right?
You're killing me. Turn it around.
Yeah, hold on.
No, turn it around. Come on.
It's got the nice rubberized grip. But, so we got these custom made. All right. Let's see if I can put up my hand so the camera focuses. Hold on, let me tap it. I think if I tap it, it'll autofocus correctly. There we go. Oh, it almost did it. Hold on. Can you guys see? It's almost
slick.
doing it. It is the Strategic Prepper logo, laser engraved on the blade. So we got some custom ones made. So this one will be in the kit. Like I said, it's the heavy duty version. So it's a little better than the one I showed you guys in the other video. It's got a nice solid feel. I like the rubberized grip. Like I said, this is what I put in my personal kit, right? And so, yeah, so we put together this kit.
Hold on, let's open the kit.
It's a good beginner's kit. And like I said, I've upgraded my entire bug out bag a few times, and I still use this knife.
There it is. In the kit. Boom.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah, I love those things. It's
in the kit.
Yeah.
Now.
It comes with a good sheath. The steel's durable. They're sharp. I love them.
No, we actually drew the name for the winner at the beginning because we were having technical difficulties, so we knocked this out of the way. So, who is winning this? Drum roll.
Can you guys hear that? No, you can see the vibration. That means I'm doing the drum roll.
Okay. All right. The winner of this, and let me know if you're on. S.J. Mullen. S.J. Mullen. Someone says me. No, sorry, not you.
I gotta.
But we're gonna have other drawings coming up. But S.J. Mullen, are you on? We're gonna send you an email.
Yeah, we'll shoot the winner an email. S.J. Mullen.
We'll send you an email today, and we'll get this out this week to you. And oh yeah, unfortunately you didn't win.
Yeah. All right, so let me go back.
It's a really nice kit.
And read this. Says two-part comment here.
Yes.
Knowledge and doing, being a prepper, I have been doing since growing up in Hawaii, since my parents went through Pearl Harbor attack, living through the Northridge earthquake in 1994. I use wisdom. Part 2. I'm glad I have advanced sewing skills. I sewed hundreds of masks for relatives transfer free during the pandemic. I need to sell more just in case. Yeah, I mean that the life experience of having the parents that went through stuff like that, and just World War II in general, right? I mean, completely different experience versus now. We've been at war 20 years, and it's largely unaffected people, right? Versus World War II. I mean, what they had meatless Mondays and war bond drives, and people collect metal, right? And just get scraps of metal to ship them off to factories because that's how critical the war was. And then the sewing skill. Yeah, that's one of those things. I don't know how to sew. It's one of those skills I've got to do. And so, yeah, building those different skills.
I went to sewing class. I still don't know how to sew.
Yeah, that's all important.
I think I passed it. Yeah. All right. Well, S.J. Mullen, congratulations. And also for the patches for Deborah and Noel. Like I said, Deborah, please send us an email at strategic-prepper.com.
That's what I love. I love Spam too. Spam sandwiches are great.
Oh, Spam's the best.
Oh yeah, Spam, mayonnaise. Man.
Yes. See?
Yeah. You fry it with Spam with it. My parents were depression babies. Lots of... Yeah, like we're talking about, we worked with a guy back in 2017 who was 94. And so what would that have made him born in like the 30s? The 20s? The 30s?
Yeah,
I don't know. He was old. And his parents... was it his parents or grandparents that were slaves?
It was his grandparents,
right? But so he had a direct line of people that lived right in the mid to late 1800s, which is nuts. Okay, and then I'm talking to this guy. It's insane.
He's like old, and he was like the youngest of like a million kids, right?
Yeah, but he had this. His mom and the way his mom did stuff growing up. Yeah, it's as far as the depression babies, there's a lot of that knowledge that's extremely valuable, and it opens your eyes, right? The more you learn, so with a little caveat, right? It's popular for young people to make fun of old people, and how they are and all that. But I tell you what, the more you learn about why certain things were done, the more it makes sense. My grandparents were born in 1892. Yeah.
Wow.
That's
it was a very different time.
Oh yeah. What did I was going to say? Spam rice balls. Oh yeah. Spam rice balls are pretty good too. I like rice.
That's it.
Rice
I like rice. I like spam.
Yeah.
Throw in some onions and bell peppers, and you got a real winner there, I think.
Oh yeah.
And it sounds like a good plan for dinner.
I had a lot of spam. I'm thinking about it. Canned protein.
Right.
Yep.
All right. Well, we want to thank you guys for joining us.
Yep.
Sorry for the delay. We just had some challenges.
Yeah. And once we get established, we plan on we'll probably make live streams a more regular. We're not set on what we're going to do. Maybe once a month, something like that. Something like we want to, as we build and grow, we want to have more time to be interactive with you guys and get comments going and conversations. So.
Yeah. And so do leave us comments. One thing that we say often is that we want to give you guys videos that add value to you.
Mm-hmm.
So let us know what questions you have, what interests you. That's where this video on the food use by dates comes from. Well, somebody had questions. Ask us those questions. If we don't know, we will find out and we will do a video on that. Yeah.
Well, and so one video, and I'll go back and see who it was. Somebody requested a video for me a couple months ago on how I packaged for long-term storage
to stay on the food
pasta and then the sauce and all, because I did the rice and beans. I haven't forgotten. So with the move and everything shuffled around, it's been kind of chaotic. I plan on filming that probably within the next couple weeks. And
let's hold him to it.
Yeah, we'll get that up. I'll probably put the person's username in the title or something, but it'll be directly, that person asked for it. Where snare use? Yes. Yep, I know, yes. So, yeah.
Use what?
I should talk about omusubi. Omusubi rice balls, Japanese rice balls.
Yeah.
I grew up eating that stuff, Kanikia. So, yes, I'm very familiar with that. Maybe we'll dig into that subject deeper at some point, but oh yeah, those things are delicious. New subscriber, hope you guys are well. Heroic Prepper, thank you. We are really hot right now because to do this, we're in the temporary shelter of the RV, and we have to turn the AC off. So we've been without AC for an hour.
Right.
It's hot. So,
yes, it is.
So we're drawing this to a close so we can get the AC back on. So
yeah. So thanks. We do appreciate you guys spending your Monday afternoon with us, and I hope you guys got something out of this. Stay tuned Thursday with a video on security, and the following Thursday where we do our video on when you really should throw away the food from cans and packages and freezers and all that other stuff, or how long you can keep it. So we got some really good info on that. All right, anything else?
I think that's about it. That's all the big stuff.
All right, thanks.
Yep.
Stay safe and stay prepared.